Everyone, this is Rick, and welcome to Astral Club. This is Astral Projection Secrets. Before we get into it, just want to mention Patreon. We have a couple new members, Manish and Melissa, who are both Astral Masters. And now that they have joined, they will get advanced episodes on Sunday, a library of downloaded episodes available that they can put on their podcast app and listen anywhere, and of course a Patreon email where we can talk back and forth. And if you're interested in joining Melissa and Manish, you can do so with the link in the description. Next up, private lessons. If you'd like a lesson to learn how to astral project, and I answer all your questions, and it's a one-on-one situation, all you have to do is go into the description and look for the email for information on private lessons. Send me that email and I'll send you the information. Astral projection secrets. Now, what kind of secrets am I talking about? I'm talking about little things that can help you to remember your projections. And I'm talking mostly now to the newer people. If you're an experienced astral projector, this isn't really something for you. But if you're someone who wants to project, or maybe just began projecting, one of the biggest difficulties is remembering your projection once you've returned to your body. The average new projector will probably fall back to sleep, and there'll be some period of time before they can actually wake up and hopefully retain that memory. Or they might go on a projection and somewhere along the process they lose consciousness. And then it becomes difficult to remember what occurred because you get pulled back into your body against your will, and it can be hard to bring that astral memory and have it integrated into the physical. So what are some of the methods that we can use? Now, this comes from Astral Dynamics by Robert Bruce, one of my favorite astral encyclopedias. He talks about conscious reentry. And in conscious reentry, he believes that the best way for newer projectors, inexperienced projectors, to retain the memory of their projection, that you should start with short projections. He's noticed over the years that by consciously choosing to go back into your body after a short projection, that it's easier to recall the projection when you are new. And he goes on to say that a lot of new projectors become so engrossed with their new state of being and exploring their new environment that they forget all about the waiting physical body, and they never think about re-entering the physical body until they are reeled back in. And then they wake up several hours later and they either have no memories or very shadowy type memories. So Bruce's suggestion for newer people who want to ensure they get in the habit of remembering their projections, that they exercise the muscle that is necessary to convert the astral memories into physical ones. He mentions an ultra short projection. So what he uses and what he coaches his students is when you first get out, make it an ultra short projection. Just get out, go about 20 feet away, he says, and then willingly return to your physical body. He has found that this is a major way to recall that you had a projection and that you got out of your body and then chose to go back in again, taking with you that short memory that is easier to remember because you chose to go back into your body consciously rather than waiting till you lose consciousness and then get pulled back and you wake up in a few hours and you're kind of hazy on the whole thing. He says it does require a lot of mental energy to hold the mind on your actual projection. And that's true. It requires quite a bit of focus and will to hold on to your consciousness while you are traveling in the physical, or rather in the astral form. He goes on to say that this discipline of returning yourself to your body very soon after your conscious exit will go a long way to triggering the remembrance of having an astral projection. He says a successfully remembered 10-second projection is worth 1,000 all-nighters that are forgotten. And I have to agree with him on that. It's quite common for new projectors to, I guess, go a little bit far and lose consciousness because it's a new experience for them. And then they end up losing the whole experience. Now, I know in the past I've said, get out and get the hell out, which means is get as far away from your body as soon as possible. And that's true. That works for having a longer projection. But if you're not recalling your projections, if you're new, and if you know you had a projection, but you just can't quite remember everything, then perhaps intentionally having a short projection and then choosing to integrate back into your physical body while you're still fully conscious could indeed assist you in remembering your astral projections. And then gradually you can practice going further and further and making them longer and longer, and then increase your ability to have a great projection while remembering everything that occurs. It's interesting that he goes on and talks about something that I've talked about as far as helping to maintain your consciousness. Once you've got a little bit of experience, he says, and I've said this myself, another valuable device that aids your memory recall is to keep up a running verbal commentary during your projection. And you say, okay, I've just left my body and now I'm thinking of something joy or some pure love, and I'm going through the wall or through the window. And now I'm also thinking about that love and joy, and I'm picking a place in the sky right by that cloud, and I'm going to project myself there. And now I'm slowly rising, or now I'm rising very quickly. And I see my town below me as I float in the clouds. And now I'm traveling at what looks like a pretty good speed. I'm seeing the town below me with its lights. So what you're doing is you're narrating the whole experience. And then you must firmly say when you start to feel like you're losing consciousness. And this is when you've gotten a little bit further along, so that you don't have to consciously choose to re-enter your body. This is a little bit further along now. You've gotten to the point where you can remember your experiences, and now you're trying to go a little bit longer. And he says, firmly say, I will remember all of this, as an affirmation. And you could say that over and over again too. As you're talking about what you're seeing as you're flying to the sky, for instance, you can constantly say to yourself, okay, this is what I'm seeing, and I will remember this. And say it with lots of, resolve behind your words. What you're doing here is you're exercising that will, that power that's going to insist that everything that you experience will be recalled upon your return to the body. I'm going to stop it there. It's just a short little lesson, and it could help you new projectors to maintain your recall. So for those first projections, you might want to keep them real short and consciously re-enter your body. I know that can be a tough decision, but if you think you're having trouble remembering, then maybe that's a good thing to try. And then when you're a little bit more confident and you're traveling, you're flying, or you've arrived somewhere that you intended to go, or somewhere you didn't intend to go, make sure you are constantly narrating your experience, and then make that suggestion over and over again that I will remember this experience. Okay, that's it. And if you liked it, please hit the like button, share it with those of like minds, subscribe if you haven't already. Love your questions and comments, but perhaps tell me about some of your experiences where you had a short projection. Was it easier to remember? If you have any tricks or any questions about that, just let me know in the questions and comments. And as always, this is Rick, and I will see you on the astral plane.